Welcome to Base Watches, where time meets elegance. In this video, we embark on a journey through the world of horology, unveiling one of the 5 best Oris watches you can buy. Join us as we explore precision, craftsmanship, and distinctive style, showcasing timepieces that redefine excellence. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone seeking the epitome of Swiss watchmaking, this guide will illuminate the path to your perfect Oris timepiece. Let's delve into the world of Oris and discover the artistry that graces your wrist. Welcome to a realm where every second counts. The Oris Rectangular collection is a reflection of the brand's dedication to both classic design and modern innovation. Known for being independent and family-owned, Oris has built a reputation for creating watches that combine craftsmanship and affordability, appealing to a diverse range of watch enthusiasts. Let's talk about numbers. The Rectangular measures 38 mm from lug to lug and is 25.5 mm across, not including the small crown at 3.0. At the middle of the case, I measured it at about 10 mm thick, but because of the case's curvature, I'd argue that it actually wears a bit thinner, maybe more like 9 mm. Regardless, we're talking about a very slight watch. This watch's big draw is the comfort factor. It just doesn't take up a lot of real estate on the wrist, and that slight curve to the case keeps it sitting low and planted, to the point where you honestly just don't notice it's there. This is also, for me, the reason dress watches work so well with casual clothing. The movement used in the Rectangular is the Oris 561, a rebadged ETA 2671. This movement isn't too common in the typical watches we cover here, but is found frequently in watches targeted toward the women's market, and similarly small rectangular watches like the Baum and Mercier Hampton. In conclusion, the Oris Rectangular collection stands as a testament to Oris' ability to merge classic design principles with contemporary watchmaking. The Oris Diver's 65's most compelling feature is its vintage charm. At a glance, this looks like a vintage watch. In hand, this feels like a vintage watch. Sure, it's a modern watch built to modern standards, but there's a certain lo-fi quirkiness present which many will find endearing. My initial impressions were quite mixed on this particular watch, and we'll see why as we dive deeper into the details. Immediately clear, however, was how comfortable this 40 mm Diver's 65 wore on my 6.75 wrist. With 36 mm and 42 mm sizes also available, it should be a piece of cake for anyone to find a Diver's 65 that fits well regardless of personal preference and wrist size. The Diver's 65's case is one area in which this piece really shines. While the design and finishing of the case is rather simple on the surface, Oris did an outstanding job with proportions that yield real-world comfort. In a world of overly thick and bulky dive watches, Oris deserves high praise for such a low-slung profile. The mid-case gently arcs downward from its midpoint toward each lug tip, allowing the watch to conform nicely to the natural curvature of most wrists. Furthermore, the mid-case is remarkably thin for a dive watch, resulting in a piece that wears very flat to the wrist. The stainless steel bezel with black aluminum insert is fairly standard if not unremarkable. The grip offered by the bezel teeth is adequate even when wet, and the unidirectional 120-click action is relatively positive with marginal backplay. Under the solid case back is Oris Calibre 733, which is Oris's name for the ubiquitous Sellita SW200 automatic movement fitted with the hallmark Oris red winding rotor. When considering the Diver's 65 line, you'll need to carefully consider the experience you want with your watch. With the Diver's 65, you're paying for a modern timepiece that has the look and feel of a vintage watch from an independent, historic Swiss brand. The Oris Big Crown ProPilot Date is a well-regarded pilot watch produced by Oris. The Big Crown ProPilot Date is celebrated for its robust design, legible dial, and practical features suitable for aviators and watch enthusiasts alike. I measured the case to be 40.5 mm in diameter, 48 mm from lug to lug width, and 12.15 mm tall. As you'd expect from an entirely utilitarian watch, it is entirely brushed with no polished accents. The case is actually my favorite aspect of this watch, and the only real reason to pick this watch over the dozens of other pilot watches in this category. The mid-case extends, tapers, and curves down into a pair of lugs that feel like a true extension of the case. I don't know much about sports cars, but these lugs feel like they belong on one. The build quality and finishing on the case is quite exceptional. True to the name, you have a very well-proportioned 6.5mm signed screw-down crown that is extremely comfortable and easy to operate. The grip is excellent, and the crown has no wobble. Flipping it over, you have a screw-down caseback with an exhibition window. This watch is rated for up to 100 m of water resistance, which is good for a pilot watch. This watch uses a modified Calibre SW220-1 movement. I was surprised to see an SW220-1 in there instead of an SW200-1, but I suspect that they repurposed the same movement base from their version of the same watch. In conclusion, the Oris Big Crown ProPilot Date is a respected and versatile pilot watch designed for individuals who appreciate aviation-inspired timepieces with a strong emphasis on readability and functionality. Rocking a big screw-down crown, polished sides, brushed lugs, and a classic thin coin-edge bezel, the Pointer Date is a reserved and almost timeless take on vintage-inspired. Despite the generally old-school bezel and dial style, the case shape and brushed finishing gives either size a defined sportiness that I really like. Both sizes can be had with a black dial or in a more interesting color inspired by Le Corbusier, a warm green for the 36mm and an excellent gray-blue for the 40mm. Both colors are distinctive, work beautifully with the steel case offering, and make for an entirely different feel when on wrist. I was floored by the blue dial version of the 40mm, the combination of the color, and the way the light interacts with the bubble-domed sapphire crystal is beautiful and, to my eyes, makes the most of a very balanced and legible dial layout. Using an Oris-made module on a base Calibre SW200-1, the Pointer Date has, time and a Pointer Date function that indicates the date via a fourth hand and a date scale surrounding the outer edge of the dial. The date hand is finished with a red tip for a small accent that aids in legibility when reading the otherwise thin handset. With cathedral-style hands for the hours and minutes, the hand sizing is perfect with the needle tip of the minutes hand reaching to the outer edge of the dial. For a real everyday watch with excellent wrist presence, an interesting complication, and good value, I really like the Pointer Date collection. The blue dial on leather feels like the move, but both sizings feel great, and I love the distinctive use of color and the effortless blend of Oris's sporty know-how with an otherwise traditional motif. The ProPilot X Calibre 400 stands out for its unique design, advanced movement, and contemporary approach to pilot watch aesthetics. First, let's start with the case, which is difficult to discuss without also including the nice bracelet it comes on. The case measures in at a very wearable 39mm by 11.8mm with a modest lug-to-lug width of just under 47mm. The watch is manufactured out of a dark, almost smoky titanium material which presents an almost stealth jet vibe to the entire watch. Normally, I wouldn't be ecstatic about an entirely monochromatic watch, however, with the Oris ProPilot X Calibre 400, it just works really well. The model comes in 3 different dial colors, a bright salmon dial, a navy blue dial, and the gray dial. Of the 3, the gray dial is definitely the more utilitarian design that just screams Oris ProPilot X. There are a lot of stars of this show, but the one that stands out the most is hands down the Calibre 400 movement. The Calibre 400 has quickly become a staple for Oris. We first saw it in the wildly popular Aquis collection, followed shortly thereafter by the brand's All-Pilot X collection. Overall, the ProPilot X Calibre 400 seems like a logical progression for the brand. The original launch of the ProPilot predecessor came with a very niche appeal. It was 44mm, skeletonized, and particularly aggressive aesthetically. It wasn't a particularly easy watch to throw on, and while beautiful, took a hit when it came to practicality. If you guys like this video or this video helped you, please give the video a like. Links to all the products mentioned are in the description below. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Till next time, I will see you guys later.